Let's talk a little 3D printed Legos and a lot about my own stupidity. So I challenged myself to build every single piece of this Micro Star Destroyer set in Fusion. I enjoyed the process so much, I did it twice. Not that I'm a glutton for punishment, but I just couldn't get things to fit right. So this project's actually stemmed from a project I do with my students at my high school where I have them pick a Lego set and they are able to come up with all the pieces for it. They have to design them, they have to make them, they have to look at the measurements, etc. And usually we print those out as all one solid piece, but I challenged myself to see what the tolerances could possibly look like if I could dial it in close enough to get it to actually fit together piece by piece. And as you can see, I had a lot of errors. So before I extend to you the gift of seeing just how stupid and time wasteful I can be, I'm going to talk you through the process that I went to build that Star Destroyer by myself. So I went to a website called Bricklink, which has the entire different set, the set that I was looking to make. And what I did is looked for this set inventory. So what we do is just kind of take a look and we start building each of these pieces. It tells you the piece, what it looks like, the quantity, etc. And using Lego's formula for determining sizes, I was able to make a rough guess about what these pieces look like. Again, every single piece you see here, I handmade in Fusion. Then after I was done, I simply printed all the pieces out. What I did is I used a 0.12 millimeter layer height for each individual piece, made it as fine as I was comfortable with. I didn't really want to waste the time with the 0.08. In hindsight, I should have, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But it took a while before all the pieces came out right. It was just iteration after iteration after iteration. Now, despite what might look like an attempt to just waste as much 3D printing filament as possible, I did have a pretty successful run. So the Lego Star Destroyer, the micro set that you see here, was the final rendition of it. And while it's pretty good, it is far from perfect. The pieces are a little too tight or a little loose, and it was just almost impossible to get things to line up perfectly. Now, again, every piece was handmade, so every time I adjusted one thing, it caused some issue on some other part of the print. So it was a really long process, but I did end up having a product I was proud of. And you can see that file on MakerWorld if you're so inclined. Link will be down below. The part about 3D printing that I love so much is just the ability to create. I had the idea to create the Micro Star Destroyer set, and I went for it. Again, making every single piece, looking up all of the parts, figuring out the measurements on my own was extremely fun for me.
Are you sure about that?
And I was looking at doing other pieces just like this, such as the Micro Millennium Falcon set. I had my eyes set on that, and then I found this channel. If you're not sure who this is, Mike Makes is one of the coolest YouTubers on the platform right now. He has a TikTok channel as well. He essentially makes huge Lego sets. So this guy has been making a 150% UCS Venator Lego set. And when I was looking at his channel, I saw a tutorial that made me rethink all of the time that I had wasted on 3D printed Legos. So he said that there's a website called Mecabricks, and when I started looking at that website, I was a little mad at myself and a little frustrated at my stupidity for not thinking that other people had done what I had tried to do beforehand. Mecabricks essentially is a website that has all the Lego bricks and the STL files for them. So the time that I wasted making all of my pieces could have been done in 10% of the time, if that. So that's exactly what I did with my second build, the Micro Millennium Falcon. Now, this build is super cool. Not many pieces, which is exactly what I was looking for in some of the initial builds, but I was able to find the assembly guide on Bricklink, all of the pieces laid out with their quantities. I was able to find the corresponding number on Bricklink, save my STLs, and get them to printing. Now, I did have some issues with adhesion to the build plate, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But other than that, the prints came out really great. Everything looked how it should, everything fit how it should, and it's just amazing how much more time I was able to save doing that method. Now, one of the things I did do was still use that 0.12 millimeter layer height. I have not tried Mike's recommendation of doing a 0.25 millimeter nozzle on the printer itself and also using the smallest layer height possible, which I believe is a 0.06 millimeter layer height. He says that those snap together just like regular Lego bricks, and I'm excited to try that sometime soon. Again, I haven't got that yet. Haven't got to try that yet, but I'm excited to see kind of what the potential is with that. So now, when I look back at the project as a whole, both different ways, there are pros and cons. I understand that the Mecabricks is probably the way to go and the way I will go for all future projects. That being said, I really did enjoy doing all of the pieces myself. For one, I think it's pretty cool to say that I did that. One funny thing is I told my dad, he's also a fellow Star Wars fan, that I was going to do this project, or I did this project, and he just went, "Why?" And I explained to him, I thought it would be cool to do, and he just goes, Okay. So obviously it's not for everybody, but I still thought it was pretty neat to be able to say that I did something like that. My fusion skills certainly got tested. I learned a bunch of new things, and it was just neat to tinker with a bunch of different stuff. I learned a lot about my 3D printer as well. I had a lot of bed adhesion issues during this project, and I was able to solve those by a bunch of testing. And as you saw by the giant bag of failed 3D prints, I certainly had my fair share of issues, but I learned a lot about my printers, about my skills, and just really enjoyed the process. Obviously, it takes a ton longer to do it that way, and a ton longer. It's just a big time investment. That's all it is. And frankly, it got a little repetitive after some point, doing the same thing, finding the same measurements. A lot of them you can replicate, meaning you can take one certain part and add some things to it, and that certainly helps as well. But it does take a lot of time. And obviously, the other way is just a bit easier. Now, again, you don't get the satisfaction of making your own piece. It's kind of like fishing too, and it's kind of like with fly fishing. You know, buying your lures versus making your flies is a big difference. You get the satisfaction of making it yourself. It's certainly easier to do the other way. Again, pros and cons to each their own. But again, I like both ways. I probably won't do the first one again though, but it's neat to say that I've done it. Another reason too is I can kind of show my students something that I have made relative to the project that they're making, something that is a big time investment that takes a lot of input and shows them the possibilities that they have. I also think when you show them the possibilities that there are, while they may not make the exact same thing, they may be a little bit more likely to try something cool, try something neat, and push themselves a little bit if they see that you've done the same thing that you're asking them to do. As we start moving forward with this kind of content, I have a lot of different ideas I want to do in terms of Lord of the Rings content, 3D printing, Star Wars figures, etc., etc. So if you like this content and want to see more of it, first off, I would love it if you liked and subscribe. That helps the algorithm to know that you want to see more content like this, and you might be able to see my next upload. Hopefully it lets you know when that is the case. Otherwise, just let me know what you'd like to see down below. Give me some cool set numbers, some cool sets that you would like to see built, and I would love to throw them on the printer and kind of talk you through my process. And if you are new to 3D printing or thinking about starting 3D printing, it is a great hobby. I'm a 3D printing teacher at a local high school, and I really do love what I do. I have a lot of instructional videos on the channel, some different tips and tricks stuff, so I would encourage you to check that out. I also have some list of things that I use on a daily basis down in the comments below, or the description below, excuse me. It is an affiliate link, but I would appreciate any support that you'd be willing to give that way. Again, it doesn't cost you any extra, but does help to support the channel and helps me to do some cool builds like you see today. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Again, if you have any feedback, any suggestions, I would love to hear from you down in the comments below. But hopefully we'll see you in another video. Thank you so much.